listening to Tapped In, Buncombe County's half hour to empower on WRES 100.7 FM in Asheville. Listen up and get tapped into local important resources, information, and topics. Learn more about the topics of today's show at buncombecounty.org. Okay, it's time to get tapped in.
Hello, and greetings to all that are listening to my voice. It is Tapped In, and I'm one of your hosts, Zakia Bowen Rogers, along with my other co-host, the awesome.
And I'm Leonard Jones.
Leonard and I come to you from the Communications and Public Engagement Department of Buncombe County.
And so today we would like to introduce our special guest, Hannah Egan, Outreach and Resource Coordinator with Greenbelt Alliance. We understand the weather has gotten cold, and we want to inform the community about ways to prepare your home for the winter months. Welcome, Hannah.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us about yourself.
I'm Hannah Egan. I've been with the Greenbelt Alliance for about 4 years now. I've been transitioned over to Energy Savers Network about 3 years ago. I started volunteering with them, and the program was expanding and they needed help. And I'm really inspired by the work we do.
Awesome. So tell us about Energy Savers Network / Greenbelt and the services your agency provides.
Yeah, so Greenbelt Alliance is the main nonprofit. There's programs under their umbrella, which includes Energy Savers Network. And Energy Savers is a volunteer-based organization that assists low-income households in Buncombe County and Asheville City with energy efficiency upgrades and weatherization services for free. So we do single-family homes, mobile homes, homeowners, renters. We're unable to do multifamily at this time. But yeah, our goal is to make these homes more comfortable, reduce the region's energy usage, and lower their utility bills.
And so I heard you mention weatherization. What exactly is weatherization?
Yeah, so it's things that you do in your home. So you can do them yourself, but we do them for people for free, just to make your home more airtight and more energy efficient. A lot of homes, especially mobile homes in particular, are notoriously inefficient. And there's so many homes in Asheville and Buncombe County that are, those 1920s, 30s bungalows that could use a little love.
And so I just want to follow up with that question. I was just thinking, so if you own one of these older homes, what are some strategies, or where are some first places that a family may look around?
Yeah, so ways to identify that you might be in need of some weatherization is if you look at your doors and you can see some light coming through outside, that means you could use some sealing up there. Also, if you have ductwork in your home and you take those vent covers off, you might be able to see that your ductwork is not completely intact everywhere. And so with those things, you want to keep your conditioned air where it's supposed to be, whether it's hot air, cold air, but you want to keep it inside. You don't want it to go outside. Also, another way to identify is if you see lots of spider webs inside, actually, because spiders purposely build their webs where there's airflow to catch their prey.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What about windows?
So windows, a lot of times you can actually feel air coming through. Sometimes it's actually within the window itself or around the frame. So there's lots of different ways there's some foam that you can use, caulking. Our organization actually, for candidates that have single pane windows that could use some extra insulation, we will measure them at during their appointment with us, and then we do a windows workshop once a month where we build custom interior storm windows, and then we'll deliver them at a later date, so they're easy for them to install in the winter and take out in the summer if they want.
Okay, that's pretty neat. So what are the qualifications for these services?
So we serve households where their total household income is within 200% of the federal poverty guidelines. So for example, a one-person household right now is at $27,180. But the federal government does adjust these numbers every year, and I definitely anticipate that those numbers will go up next year.
And so to find out if you qualify, like they can just call up to your agency, or is there
Yeah,
a form they
so
can fill out?
they can go to energysaversnetwork.org and click on apply for services. They'll give us some basic information about their household, and they can also see the income qualifications according to your household size there. And then we will reach out to them. They can also call us. The number there is 828-222-0335.
And so in Buncombe County with some of the work, do you know, like, are there particular communities or target populations that y'all have noticed and y'all have addressed?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our programs are BIPOC focused. We definitely want to create some equity there with households that need it. But anyone that is within 200% of the federal poverty guidelines, we definitely encourage reaching out and scheduling an appointment. We do like to kind of address the homes we serve in a more holistic way. So even if maybe their home is in pretty good shape and they didn't need a whole lot of weatherization, which is great, we can still refer them to other organizations or resources out there that they might need, like food pantries, legal assistance, or maybe there's a new mother in the home, resources for them.
And just to clarify, BIPOC is Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. So, and that's BIPOC, just for those who are not, don't have that in their common day vocabulary.
Yeah, thank you.
What has been some of your successes in the community?
After talking to our clients and getting feedback and testimonials from them, we can definitely tell that they feel more included in the community and not judged by what we do. Another way to kind of measure the successes we've had is last year, in the year of 2021, we were able to save the households we serve a total of over $30,000 in utility savings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so, like, you only do like windows and doors.
So yeah, we'll do weather stripping doors. We can insulate their hot water heater pipes.
Okay.
Install low flow water fixtures, so that includes like faucet aerators and shower heads, as well as LED light bulbs. We do lots of air sealing, like we're talking about around windows and ductwork, changing their furnace filter, sealing their attic hatch, things like that. So every household is different, so it just depends.
So you do some pipe wrapping, if like this coming out the hot water heater.
The hot water heater,
hot water heater, and changing out faucets and things of that nature. That's great, because we don't ever think of water connecting to our electric bill, but depending on what type of water heater you have, it does. It either affects your gas or your electric bill.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Okay, and so you can save money all the way around. That's awesome, because as we know, this is a really rough time for all of us.
So do your organization, do y'all come out and do an assessment, or do you have to qualify before you come out? So if a listener is listening today and it's like, I may would like them to come out, do y'all do that? Are there like, I guess, services that they can purchase if they don't qualify for the low, or do y'all just focus on?
Yeah, so I'll do the intake process over the phone with the client one-on-one, make sure that they are qualified and get that information from them. When they are scheduled an appointment, what happens is our project manager or crew leader comes out with a group of volunteers. They'll do the assessment that day, and then they'll just start working. So there are services out there that people can pay for that we can refer them to. For example, a great business in the area is Conservation Pros.
And so what was that number again for your organization, just for the listeners, they're listening?
Yeah.
And y'all may refer them to someone they may have to purchase the service, but just what's a good number they can call and reach you again?
828-222-0335.
And you talked about your target population as the BIPOC community. Are you all geared more to the aging community?
Yeah, anyone really, a lot of these households, when you think about people that are elderly, or maybe they have young children, or maybe not everyone in the home is able-bodied, these things can really make a big difference. And that also comes into play with the other programs that we have available right now.
So what are some of your community partners that y'all partner with along with your nonprofit?
So we work pretty closely with Community Action Opportunities. They do similar work. They're a state-funded organization. We also are pretty close with Mountain Housing Opportunities and Habitat for Humanity and Evelyn Charities. And then we are funded by the city of Asheville and Buncombe County. We also have some funding from the Candida Fund in Atlanta. And then the Dogwood Health Trust here is helping fund our home repair program.
And you talked about a lot of different services that you all do. You know, windows and ceilings and things like that. How are you all able to accomplish that?
So we are volunteer based. So we do, we have volunteers out in the field with us. We do have volunteers that build those windows. We work with United Community Development. They do they're a contractor underneath of us, so they do about a home a week for us. And then with our other programs, we use contractors to get the home repairs and HVAC projects done.
Okay.
So with the home repairs, what did that consist of? You mentioned you had received funding from Dogwood. Could you elaborate on that?
So it's for the households that we serve. It's great to be able to get in and do the weatherization first. You know, it gives us an opportunity to not only do that, but also talk to the homeowner or household occupants about their concerns and kind of put eyes on what they're concerned about. And then we have funding throughout the next year and a half. So those projects could include, you know, building a ramp, fixing people's flooring or their ceilings, plumbing issues. We do lots of water heater replacement, you know, when those deteriorate and if they're leaking, then it can destroy the floor underneath, and you know, it can just create a whole mess of problems. So
yeah, because a lot of times those things occur, and even if your house is insured, it doesn't mean that your insurance company will handle it, especially if it was a leak you just didn't know that was happening and the pipe bust. Well, they look at that and they say, well, it was an existing leak, we'll pay for just the piping to get repaired. So those things go neglected for years because, you know, home repair is expensive. And so those services for the community, for folks who have houses but meet the qualifications, that is an amazing thing for them.
So we also saw that y'all was a recipient of the American Rescue Plan Act. I believe it's ARPA funds. How is the Energy Saver Network using those funds?
Yeah, so we received ARPA funding through the city and the county. Both of those buckets of money will be helping our clients with HVAC repair and replacement. So we will be able to, if a household has an existing electric unit and they need a repair, we can do that. But we're also have the ability to replace their entire heating system. So we're installing really energy efficient mini splits and heat pumps so that we can replace systems that are not functioning. They're really old and inefficient, or they use heating, or they use oil or gas furnaces.
So, you know, we talked about, you know, building ramps because we know as we get older, sometimes we become differently abled, or we may have someone who lives with us who's differently abled. You also, like, if there is somebody who, say, becomes differently able as time goes on, could you use funding to like help that redo their bathroom so that they are able to get in and out their tub or able to use the bathroom?
Yeah, so along those lines, we do have a budget for each household just because we want to give as many households the opportunity to receive home repair services as much as possible. But that's definitely a potential.
And if it's someone that needs greater need, is there another program that you all working and with to make sure that happens, or?
Yeah, so in those instances, we will do what we can for them and then refer them to another organization, most likely Mountain Housing Opportunities. They do a lot of emergency home repair.
Yeah.
So it seems like a good way to just you can think of ways to energy save your house, reach out to your organization and then have that for weatherization, energy saving, but then it's ways to find referrals to other potential resources in the community as well with your organization. So I'm just wondering, my question just left my head.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I was also going to mention the Blue Horizons project is another program underneath the umbrella of Greenbelt Alliance.
Okay.
And they're helping the city and the county reach their 100% renewable goals by 2042. So another resource for people that might not qualify for Energy Savers Network and maybe they don't want to pay to have a company come out. They offer free home energy chats. So that is a one-on-one discussion with the program manager there and the Greenbelt Homes program director that certifies Greenbelt Alliance, Greenbelt Homes. So that's a great way to understand your home's specific energy usage. And it's free. So that's
good.
another good resource. You can find that at bluehorizonsproject.com, and there's a link there for home energy chats, and they'll reach out to you and get you scheduled for a discussion.
I think my question came back. I was thinking about, I was at home recently and people came around and they were talking about solar panels. Is that something that Energy Savers work on as well?
Yeah, so we do have a free low-income solar program called Neighbor to Neighbor. It started last year and it was pretty successful, so we're picking it up again. So it is reserved for low-income households, so through Energy Savers Network, the clients that we serve. They do have to be homeowners though. It's something that won't be available to renters. People that live in site-built single-family homes and ones that have a relatively new roof that's in good shape. But yeah, this is a great opportunity for these households, to get a taste of renewable energy. I think a lot of times when we talk about mitigating climate, especially when it comes to renewables like solar or electric cars, there's just not a lot that's offered to low income and median income households.
So do they have to go on the roof or can they go into another part of the
They will go on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And if they have roof damage, are there programs that help because roofs are expensive?
They're very expensive. Yeah. So through the Dogwood Health Trust, we have done some roof repair, like smaller spots of the roof that need attention. But if they need an entire roof repair, I would recommend reaching out to Mountain Housing Opportunities. They might be able to assist with that.
Yeah. And I think, sometimes, people, we look at folks and we say, oh, but they have a house. But unlike apartments, all that work has to be completed by the homeowner.
Maintenance is not cheap.
No, it's not. And, and even if you're saving money, sometimes things happen and it takes all that savings and you have to start over from scratch, but it may put you behind. So these programs are amazing and awesome to those who find themselves in that situation and meet the qualifications for it. Yeah. So like through the combination of all these things, there are a lot of households in the county that receive financial assistance with their utility bills through the low income heating assistance program, BIPOC. So that is a great resource, but also Energy Savers Network is trying to reduce the need for that. So using those in combination plus home repair plus HVAC replacement, it's allowing these households to use more of their income and resources on other household needs or personal needs.
And it's great that you brought up the low income energy assistance program because just as we mentioned, we're talking a lot about things that you can do at your home to help, but we do understand that in these times of high inflation and costs that people do need emergency help at times. So if you need assistance, we would like to bring your attention to. You can go to Buncombe County .org under our public assistance, and you can find these different types of programs. As mentioned, the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, and that program helps low income families federally fund a program that provides for one-time vendor payment to household primary heating source to help eligible households pay for their heating costs. And we just want to remind individuals that will open up December the 1st, 2022 through March 31st, 2023, pending on fund availability. And it's available to all Buncombe County residents starting January the 2nd of 2023 and ending on March 31st, 2023. And we just want to remind people, if you need to call to apply for these programs, the number is 828-255-3066. That number again is 828-255-3066 to initiate the request for the LEOP benefits.
And as we see, there are a lot of ways out in the community that people are making sure that we're getting the help to those who need it.
Yeah.
And so we talked about volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how can one volunteer with you?
Yeah, if you want to go to energysaversnetwork.org/volunteer, we have volunteers that come out into the field with us, people that are handy or that want to learn new skills. There is a training process involved. We can also use help to make those interior storm windows, and also help with reaching out to the community in various ways.
So if someone has limited skills, you will train them and get those skills up to par. You see that? You don't have to come out there. You don't have to be Bob the Builder.
You do not.
You don't. You don't have to be jack of all trades. Just come out if you're in the spirit to volunteer. If you're retired and you want something extra to do, or if you have a free weekend and you and your teenage children want to learn how to do something and volunteer and give back to the community. Because what's the age limit?
We usually try not younger than 16.
Yeah. So if you have, which would be great for our 16-year-olds, 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are still in high school with their parents, can be a bonding and a giving back to community project. So it's a lot of things that you can do. What you got?
So just bring it back to your organization. What's some of the successes y'all have seen over the past few years?
I think our growth speaks a lot to our success. And, organizations trusting us with the grant money and the funding that they've provided because they know that we'll follow through with the work. And also the fact that since COVID, community outreach and client recruitment hasn't been the same. We would do a lot of in-person community markets, food pantries. We would be at Evelyn Charities every day, but a lot of things haven't returned completely in person. They might still be kind of drive-through style, or just not happening at all anymore. And so we've relied heavily on our clients to refer us to families, friends, and neighbors, and that's been our most successful tactic for recruiting new clients. And so I think that speaks a lot for itself.
Oh yeah. So are you all, because COVID has thrown all of us for a loop. So are you all starting to peak out again and come into the communities for markets, or how are you all, I know it's changed a lot, so how are you all transitioning now?
So through that transition, we've, besides relying on our clients, also relying more on our community partners, like community action opportunities, keeping those relationships strong. And then, we are trying to get back out into the community more with festivals, markets, food pantries, doing what we can to be more present. And it really helps to, talk to people in person, face to face. Flyers and newsletters and things like that don't always get the point across. And I think people can also be skeptical when they see that things are free. That might pique their interest, but they also might not completely understand what the program is, what they're signing up for. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things out there where people are getting scammed, and it's just really unfortunate.
I know, because I think a lot of times when I'm somebody that it's hard for change and transition, so it's one of those things of when someone comes to your door and they knock and they talk about solar panels and then rebate. A lot of that is confusing sometimes.
It is very confusing.
You're just so used to what you know,
right?
That just dispelling some of those myths about those organizations and just those energy efficient ways of even just living today. So it's great to know there's organizations that we can trust, and seeing that your community partners that you have, like Dogwood in the city and Buncombe County, let you know that you're truly about, part of the community and really trying to help the community. So we greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. So what is something, because we have to start wrapping up, what is something that you want the public to know, that you want that right here that we didn't say that you want them to know?
Something that I want the public to know. I guess that I think that, knowledge is power. So I think understanding your home better, not only just us coming in and doing the weatherization piece, but the education piece at the end and afterwards is really important. So even if we're not able to identify or fix everything that we identify that day, at least you know about it, and you might be able to prepare more for it, or we can maybe find other resources that could help you. So we just want the community to know that we're here for them. This is a free service. So yeah. And
then just to kind of follow up on that, can you just let the listeners know, like, the name of your organization, where we can find you at, what's your address, telephone number, that information?
Yeah, so Energy Savers Network, you can reach us via website at energysaversnetwork.org, or call me directly at 828-222-0335. You can also shoot us an email with any questions or inquiries, and we can point you in the right direction at info@energysaversnetwork.org.
All right, Leonard, is there anything you want to leave for our people?
Yeah, I would just always to let people know, you always can go to buncombecounty.org under economic services. Today we had someone from Energy Savers here today to help you prepare to kind of look around your house. That may be a good resource just to figure out some of the challenges, and especially to stay warm as we move into these colder months. But just reminding people, you always can go out to buncombecounty.org under economic services, and you can look for assistance. We know that you need those emergencies, so I just want to bring up that information again around the LEAP program that would provide that one-time vendor payment for household primary heating source. But I also would like to bring up another crisis intervention program that you can find on that same website, and they help pay for electric bills, deposit fuel, oil, kerosene, natural gas, propane, wood, coal, heaters, furnace repairs, and fans. And that's with our partnership with Evelyn Charities. So that number to contact Evelyn Charities is 828-255-3066. We just request people to reach out to Evelyn to start that process, because we know it's getting cold out there. As today in our discussion, we talked about ways that you can look around your house to try to be kind of proactive in a way, but we know if you find yourself in that tight squeeze that there are resources out there for the community. So just lifting up that website for the county that can lead you to some of these programs that can help you in the coming months.
And that was Professor Jones with the thesis of this program today, giving out all the information. I just absolutely adore him. And thank you so much, Hannah, for coming and doing everything you do. And to our listeners, if nothing else that COVID has taught us is that when we need help, we got to say it. So instead of, if you read what you've heard today and you go over it and you're still not understanding, give them a call. Talk to someone, because the thing is, you never know what is available to you until you say the words, I need help. And these folks are dedicated to helping you find someone to take care of your needs. We are one Buncombe. And we have one vision to make sure that everyone is able to live, thrive, and continue to help each other. So with that being said, we are embarking on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And sometimes you have to be thankful for the services around you and give yourself the gift of asking questions to your community. I'm Zakia Bell Rogers, Leonard Jones, and Hannah Egan, and we're signing off. This is Tapped In.
Thank you for listening to Tapped In, Buncombe County's half hour to empower, here on WRES 100.7 FM in Nashville. Learn more about today's topic at buncombecounty.org. Otherwise, stay tuned for more great episodes coming up.